The music used to introduce the protagonist is very repetitive, like the type of music my target audience listens to. The genre of pop is used commonly in teen movies. This is shown effective and appeals to the younger audience appeal to my target audience in my screening. I have used similar music used in the teen movie Love Don't Cost a Thing and Mean Girls. I have chosen to use an arty graffiti type font. The reason for this it would be appealing to my target audience as it is a youthful expression of art. This font works well with the establishment of the genre as this is a teen movie. I have chosen to reinforce a stereotypical representation of a social group and characters. I have made my protagonist a stereotypical American archetype of a nerd. This is the most common archetype used for protagonists in teen movies. I got inspiration for this character from the 2003 teen movie Love Don't Cost a Thing. The movie is for a younger age and targets the teen demographic. This is also one of my reference films, a medium-long shot to show the protagonist as he walks around the corner. I have done this to show the protagonist's body language and to show his facial expression. This also establishes him as the main character protagonist. The costume for my protagonist has been made specifically to fit the archetype target audience as they will be able to relate to him as he is the same age. This character is established in the first scene. This is common in teen movies to establish the protagonist in the first 30 seconds of the opening of the film. Example of this is Love Don't Cost a Thing. It then cuts away to a low angle shot of the two characters walking upstairs. The lighting is dark. I have done this to show the audience these characters are the antagonist. The antagonist and the protagonist are going to meet and there's going to be conflict. The audience can relate to this. The location of the shot is shown as a working area. This is established by the protagonist, the student, and the environment around him. Connotes this as being a school or college. I have used bold colours to introduce my character protagonist. This connotes his characteristics, but then use dull, bland colours to introduce the antagonist. This works well with the mood of the scene and connotes a conflict. This then creates an enigma of what these characters are going to do and what's going to happen when they meet, connoting conflict. This shot shows the protagonist being bullied. This shot appeals to my target audience as they will be able to relate to this topic. I got inspiration for this shot from the 2003 action movie Daredevil. From this shot, it cuts away to a medium-long shot of the protagonist walking into a gate with his mother. She is signified as his mother by the clothes she is wearing and how she addresses the protagonist. The fact he is coming to school with his mother adds a comical effect and enhances his archetype. When the protagonist enters the school, I have used a variety of different shots. This shows good continuity. My target audience for this is teenagers. I chose to do this low angle shot to show how insignificant the protagonist is, using a medium close-up to show this character's facial expressions and body language. It shows him in an optimistic fashion. This fits his archetype as it would appeal to. This also would appeal to my target audience, showing my protagonist as a hopeful person, making them feel happy and optimistic. In this scene I have used a slow motion effect. This works well with the introduction of this character. This being a blonde, white, attractive female, this fits the archetype of the popular girl and princess, a common stereotype used in teen movies. This would also appeal to a teen male audience. The body language of this character looks careless, but also seductive. As she enters the scene, the camera focuses on her, connoting that she is more important than the other characters. This fits her archetype. Also, she is the only person in the scene, showing her importance and individuality. For props used, I used a prop of a phone to show that she's social and popular. Also fits her archetype. This music works well with the slow motion effect I've added to the scene, forcing the audience to focus on this character. This is appealing to my target audience by adding a comical effect. Also, this actor would also be appealing and bring in a male audience. The way I've made this character use her phone is to show in the sense that she's very uncaring by the use of her facial expressions. I use a close-up shot to show her change of facial expression. Then it cuts to an eyeline shot of the protagonist looking at her, denoting her smile is portrayed towards the protagonist. This is reinforced by the slow music connoting the protagonist is daydreaming. This would appeal to my target audience as it is funny and adds comedy. This is a common convention used in teen movies. I got inspiration for this scene from two teen movies, Wayne's World and Love Don't Cost a Thing. Both use a slow motion effect. I have used a slow motion effect which works well for this character's introduction. This character being a blonde, white, attractive female, just fits the archetype of the popular princess. This would be appealing and draw in mostly a male teen audience. The slow 80s music adds a comical effect. This works well with hair toss, a common convention used in teen movies to establish this archetype. My inspiration for this was from the teen movie Wayne's World, using a close-up shot and extra-eidetic gaze to address the audience. In the background you can hear diegetic sound of other students. I have filmed this to show as a working environment, and this would be appealing to my target audience as they could relate to these issues. I chose a close-up shot of the protagonist's over-exaggerated facial expressions. This worked well, adding comedy to my scene. I've used the sound effect to cross-cut sound in this shot. In this shot you can see the sidekick coming to comfort the protagonist. He is established as a sidekick as he is of ethnicity and he is here to comfort the protagonist. He also has a smaller role, what also signifies such archetype.